3, 2, 1. We're live.
Welcome, everyone, to Advantage in Paradise. Now, today is a special episode because we've actually pre-recorded today's episode. We will be participating along in the chat, so please feel free to ask us any questions about what might be coming up, and we'll be reacting to everything that happens in the session. The reason we're doing this is because I am not here right now. I am I am in Europe for the next week and a half. So unfortunately, we had to do pre-recorded episodes, but it should be just the same. We're playing it exactly how we normally would if we were going live. So please still enjoy, and I look forward to hearing all your comments when I get back from Europe. But
All right, we get another take.
and cut. No. So let's go through our usual setup, though. So our music and audio is provided by Sirenscape.com and Soundstripe.com for our licensed music, and Tabletop Audio on occasion. Mostly Sirenscape these days, actually. Shannon, I don't know if you're planning on doing any social media shout-outs.
Oh, yeah, of course I am. I have them all ready to go.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
All right, take it away.
All right. So I have 3 awesome people to shout out this week. The first is at Plot Hooks. The other day, they messaged me and asked me if I would be a guest host on their podcast stream. One of those 2, maybe both. I'm really excited. I get to talk a lot about Scarlet and about rogues, and we're gonna take a deep dive into that class. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So thank you for that invitation. I'm really excited. Next one is at 1, the number 1 negative person. They sent me a really nice message on Twitter just to say that I'm awesome and wonderful, and it was just really nice and just kind of unprompted, and I just really appreciated that. So thank you, 1 negative person. I think you're a positive person. And last but not least, I would like to express Your Fandom. They have a big giveaway going on right now for a giant D10. I'm going to tweet about it eventually, and I'll keep hyping it, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm doing something with them soon. I do not want to spoil anything, but I'm really excited for that opportunity. So give all these awesome people a follow, and I'll have more next time.
Also, we want to recommend at Talon and Claw.
Yes, we do.
Being...
Oh my God.
Shannon?
Talon and Claw is our first official partner with the stream. Shannon will post it on social media. Will be posting it on social media. But if you would like a discount on any of their fine woodwork for all your gaming needs, just type in Paradice, and remember that's
with a
dice. With a C.
With a C.
And you'll get a 10% discount on their entire and anything in their store.
Yes.
We're really happy to be partnering with them. Really excited. Shannon's got a bunch of their stuff. My DM screen is from them, and I love it. It's super great. It's got these great magnets where I keep their passive perception lined up. Reminds me I need to update Curon's ridiculous passive perception.
A ton of amazing D&D woodwork content.
Yes.
Honestly,
look how gorgeous this is.
When I put their...
I'm totally getting one of these for it, 100%.
This is,
Screen.
This is
whenever I put up the
you
initiative
need
count. Whenever I put up the initiative count, guys, that's because they've got these awesome slots in the DM screen for the DM to use. When Shannon's playing here in person on a ranger, I always put a Hunter's Mark reminder because she never remembers to cast Hunter's Mark.
Never.
But please check them out. They're great supporters, great friends of the show, and they just at the end of the day make great
good
products.
people.
And they're very good people. Yeah. So thank you, Talon and Claw.
All right. Shall we?
We shall.
All right. It is nighttime. On a Solvasdag, the 14th day of Urvala, the first dawn. I'm going to do it every episode now, so you know what day it is. It's going to be great. It's kind of like Always Sunny. Last we left off, the gang of Maginset. The heroes of Maginset, by the missive of General Kinsley, were sent on a mission to disrupt the local bandits in the hills and recover the nefarious relic known as the Pallid Mask. All leads pointed towards an old barrow timber found in the hills near the bandit camps. There you encountered many monstrosities, from basilisks to phase spiders to magical constructs, but ultimately it all led down to the frightening battle with the stranger in yellow, where he was summoning some sort of strange ritual which seemed to access the astral sea, as this humanoid wrapped in yellow was beginning to be transformed into some other entity, perhaps another stranger in yellow. The humanoid had its own wooden mask, much like the pallid mask worn by the stranger. But as you defeated the stranger and ended the ritual, the cloak of this new creature vanished, as did the mask, revealing an Asimar that must have been the victim of this ritual, or perhaps a willing participant. But you actively watched as their golden halo and emanating light from their chest vanished and dissipated, leaving them pale-skinned, blackened eyes, blackened hair, as you watched this Asimar become fallen. It was from there that you took a much-needed breather, found that a entire chest of treasure had been jettisoned from the astral sea. And you found 200 gold coins, not after triggering its fireball trap, as well as a tome with a few fun spells for Wiswick, and a gem, an elemental gem that Wiswick gave to Timber. You retrieved the long sword from the stranger, as well as his staff, and as you retrieved these treasures, found the shattered mask in half, you slowly snuck your way out of the barrows with this strange new friend, enemy, neutral companion that is this Asimar, and set off for the road. You chose to ignore the greater bandit camp down the road, hoping that this incursion may disrupt them enough to at least give the region time to stabilize. But you began heading north along the road, staying on the road for safety, which eventually brought you to the hamlet of Bracklin Glen. It's a small hamlet with thatched roof homes scattered over a large tract of land that leads to a central square, which you notice is surrounded by very low palisade walls, with barely a gate really at each entrance. The stonework, the central square, you haven't learned why it's called the Painted Square, but you can see that the colored stones that make up the cobblework here, some are colored stones, some are painted, some are even rare gems, but they're arranged in a way that creates a mosaic of a beautiful design that weaves into triskelions and other Celtic-like knots. But they seem faded, like they haven't been tended to in many, many years. You made your way straight for the tavern to find some rest that night. This tavern, called the Guarverine's Tooth, which was a two-storied tavern with a long set of Guarverine teeth that were planted above the name. There you met Paravel Bracklin Glen, the owner and bartender, a tall, furball woman who was very merry and very jovial to see. And she sold you a few rooms to find your respite for the evening, much deserved. Valen and this strange Asimar took their own room so he could tend to the wounded person. And each of you went and dropped off your things before resting for the evening or coming down for a nice supper. That's where we left off. Heroes, what would you like to do?
I believe I had dropped my stuff in the room, and Cal was headed back down.
Did we decide who's staying with who?
No, you did not yet.
It's me and Timber, I think, right?
Yeah, but I think
There's one.
he
Is there-
didn't
how many
count
rooms
as
do we
a
have?
person.
3?
Yeah.
Timber didn't count as a person, so
Oh.
you're
Okay.
He's a dog.
sleeping on the floor, and someone's gonna be Scarlet. You're gonna have a new roommate.
Ugh. Who wants to be my roommate?
I'm not going to touch that, and I'm just going to throw my stuff into a room onto a bed and take my jacket off and go downstairs.
Okay.
And leave my hat.
Leave your hat. Okay.
I'm gonna go into another room, and just whoever wants it can come in. But I'm not going downstairs.
Okay.
Need some alone time.
Fair enough. Timber, what are you doing as a wolf? Kieran, what are you doing?
I just realized I was muted.
Kieran's gonna see the potential for some shenanigans and go into the room with Cal so that Wiswick and Scarlet can share.
Wiswick was kind of looking up to Kieran to see what he was gonna do, and then he just shrugs and goes into Scarlet's room.
As Kieran walks into Cal's, he gives Wiswick a small mischievous smile.
Mischievous.
Thank you. My English, not so good.
Hey everyone, it's Kieran's first prank.
Write that in the gosh darn book.
Okay, so you drop off your things. Timber, what are you going to stay with Scarlet? And then Kieran and Wiswick, are you going to go down to join Cal?
I think I'm going to quickly drop off my stuff.
Scarlet, do you want me to set up any defensive maneuvers? I'm gonna head downstairs for a little while. I could put an alarm at the door if you wish, if you want to take a rest.
That would be nice. Thank you.
Okay, so I do that and go downstairs in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, Kieran just goes down after dropping off his stuff.
Okay, so you're going to set up the alarm spell in your room with Scarlet and then head down?
Essentially in the hallway in front of our room. Yeah.
Okay. Timber?
Timber goes in whichever room, doesn't matter. And he transforms into a humanoid and quickly takes out his cloak and covers himself as much as he can with what he has. And then heads down to...
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you're going to go into humanoid form, try to conceal
Just
your kind of...
conceal with the hood up and everything.
Interesting.
And
So
And sit next to Cal right when he gets there.
So for the three of you who are downstairs, for reference, this is the first, casual setting that you've had a chance to see Timber in his humanoid form. I mean, you've seen it before when he's occasionally dropped the hybrid form in private meetings with you, but the only person who's really gotten to see it at length is Scarlet. So this is a new experience. But Cal, you're the first one to come downstairs, and you see the place is fairly bustling. It's mostly it mostly looks like older farmers, maybe other laborers, mostly of the working class of this town, enjoying drinks and some food. But it's not overwhelmingly packed. There is a roaring fire going. You see Paravel is still standing behind the bar, occasionally barking orders to the three halflings that are running around doing most of the work.
Mom, I don't know what I would call her yet. I'll figure it out.
Oh, hey there.
Is it seat yourself, or is it wait to be seated?
Oh, I don't really understand the question, but you can sit wherever you want. I mean, don't bother anyone, but please come sit at the bar. We'll get you whatever you want. Remember, there's a free meal with your room. The booze ain't free, though.
Understood. I think I'll take a look around and decide where to sit. Thank you.
So I mean, you largely see they're not particularly friendly faces towards you. They're jovial amongst themselves, but if you stepped close to any of the tables, they might just sort of sneer up at you, look at this smooth face on this lad.
All right, I'm gonna find a table closest to the stairs.
Okay. Easy enough to do because most folks are concentrating around the fire.
Yeah.
So the table kind of on the outskirts, easy to find one that would fit all your compatriots.
Excellent. And I'll sit with my back to the wall, my face to the crowd. Yeah.
Yep, I see what you mean. Easy enough to do. Huron and Wiswick, you would come down, and then Timber, you would follow very shortly after.
Well, gents, apparently a meal comes with our room. I'll see if we could attract a waiter.
I
Look around for that.
imagine- I imagine Wiswick pre-gamed a little upstairs, so we didn't have to pay for alcohol.
So you're just sipping at your flask. While I imagine you were. So imagine Scarlet. This is what you see. You see Wiswick with this silver thread that he's slowly positioning in the exact right space at the door to your room as he's occasionally. And then doing a ritual to seal it.
Are you sure that's going to work?
Yeah, you want to test it out?
Yeah, actually, I do. How do I do that? Just walk through it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
I said it to out loud, like it doesn't go into my head. It like makes a sound, and I think it's supposed to be a ringing bell, but I don't know if in the past you let me mess with that.
If you did it correctly, Scarlet shouldn't trigger it. So.
Oh, true.
So I'll go up and I'll like put my boot through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Wiswick. I'm gonna ask you to give me just a quick intelligence check.
Okay. I mean, couldn't I also have just excluded her from the spell? Just
Yeah,
to show?
if you wanted to do that, like, yeah, you could do that. It just might take you a little longer to finish the ritual, which is fine.
Okay. I'll roll the intelligence check anyway. That is a 10 plus 7, 17.
All right, so he is. Although you can tell he's getting a little tipsy. Everything the before he snaps his fingers to finish the ritual, everything looks pristine and properly symmetrical as this thread is right at the base of the door, and he just sort of grins at you and snaps his fingers, and you can step through it if you'd like.
I just walk up to it and stick a boot through it.
As soon as you do that, you hear the loudest ear-piercing ringing of a bell you've ever heard. As you just grasp at your ears, as it just rings in your ears, you get that very light afterwards. Everyone downstairs hears this bell go off upstairs. As they
I'm like,
yeah, even Wiswick's, it's just way too loud because although he did it correctly in his drunken stupor, he set the volume a little too high. As downstairs, there isn't really a bard as much as there's just like sort of there's just a halfling up there with a lute who's just occasionally strums it. And there's not really a song being played as much as he's just sort of, it's kind of like as if there was an open mic night here. And this halfling is the only one participating and he didn't prepare a set. But it all stops as this loud bell rings into the entire tavern.
My God, why is it so loud?
Quick, step away.
Oh, what? Back up.
As you step out of it, the ringing ceases.
Oh, God, wait, can you turn that down?
Oh, is that your friend upstairs?
Probably, knowing him. I think he's harmless. I think it was probably just a big loud noise.
Well, we can't have too much more of that. Please tell him to stop.
Understood, ma'am. I'm gonna sit at this table.
Yeah, all this happened while you were looking for a table. The other patrons were particularly aggressive against you because of this. But...
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, but you.
So you want me to stop it? I mean, I could redo it, but I mean that's another 10 minutes.
It's fine. Just thank you. Go. Thank you.
I would say with Wiswick casting his ritual spell, it's actually Huron and Timber who would get downstairs first after Cal, and then Wiswick would join shortly after. So you watch Huron comes down first, and then Timber shortly after, and you two can join him if you'd like.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
You see a little bouncing tray moving through the crowd as you see not Shane, but one of the other halflings who looks a lot like Shane. Shane was sort of, he has a a beer belly. He's got these graying chops, and then sort of a tuft of halfling brown hair, bright green eyes, slightly tanner skin. As he led you upstairs, and this is a slightly different hobbit who looked halfling. Gotta.
We're about to get sued by Chris Tolkien.
Get sued by rest in peace.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
Yes,
sorry.
But you see a halfling that looks a lot similar, just with a much larger nose and blue eyes, is moving around with a tray of drinks going to one of the table of laborers, and will likely come to you next.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a while since we've actually been able to sit.
Indeed. Not a terrible.
You have to see. This is quite nice.
You watch as this is happening for Cal and Kieran. You see Paravel comes over and just sort of, she's still washing a wooden mug, but she kind of leans down because she's so tall to Cal and just says, "Well, I didn't want to say anything, but we've got a washroom if you'd like. You guys are kind of covered in blood."
Actually, Sean, we were prestidigitated to cleanliness last time.
Maybe just him.
Or
I
maybe
think
just
he
me,
only
actually.
did. Oh, you were okay. Well, then
Yeah.
I'd say. All right.
We've
Well,
been traveling for like 4 days, guys. What are you doing?
I would say-
Yeah, no. Timber would have done
Timber
himself.
was definitely prestidigitated. All right. Well, in that case, she says something different.
You smell bad because you've been
You
traveling.
smell real bad. I didn't. It makes it a little make more little sense that she didn't say it right away, but you smell real bad. We do have washrooms available if you'd like. I can get Shane over there to boil some water for you if you want it nice and warm.
I would love that, personally. Anyone else? Anyone would turn that down? I don't think, right?
Timber wouldn't turn his head towards her, but he'd be like, "Yes, that would very be appreciated."
Oh, all right. You
It
sound
would be
interesting.
appreciated.
All right.
Could we take our meals first? Do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. I'll get. Where is he? There he is. Brian. Yeah, Brian. Go over here. Get these people some food.
Can I get an ale as well?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to take your drink orders. Got an ale there. How about you, fancy fella?
Or is that Kieran or Cal?
That's. She kind of looks to both of you because you both look fancy to her.
I will have. Do you have anything harder than ale?
Oh, well, we definitely have got some halfling ski in the back.
I'll take an ale, please. Thanks.
Okay.
Just
How
the
about you,
one,
friend?
Thank you.
Oh, water. All right. All right. You're the responsible one. All right, Brian, get them some food. All right, I'll get those drinks to you right away. And she retreats to the bar and begins preparing your drinks. You watch that same. At this point, I'd say Wiswick, you're about to come down, but the halfling comes over, and he, the one that looks a lot like Shane but isn't Shane,
Is in fact Brian.
he's in fact Brian. Brian has blue eyes. Shane has green eyes. But Brian comes right up with his empty tray beneath his arm and just, "Oh, hi lads. What can I get for you? We don't have too much on the menu tonight, but we could definitely get you some meats and we not a lot of veggies in store. We had to give quite a bit of our supply to the regiment that came through, but we can whip you something up. But what can I get you?"
I'll take just the du jour is fine, thanks.
Du jour. Okay, all right.
Whatever's on the menu, whatever you could grab, pretty much.
All right, shepherd's pie for you. That is.
Excellent.
How about you two?
Can I get some meat, please? Please.
Some meat. All right, we can get you. Would you like a chicken? Would you like a half chicken, or would you like some?
That'll do.
Oh, okay. Are you? Kind of like peeking around your hands, like, "You all right, sir?"
I shake my head at him like we got this.
Meat is good. Meat is good.
Okay, all right. And how about you? I kind of looks up at you, Kieran's like, "How about you?" Yeah. What would you like? What can I get you?
Any greens would be good. Thank you very
Greens. Would you like them? Roasted or steamed or just raw?
Roasted sounds lovely.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Paravel back there, she's a great cook. She's not cooking tonight, but the cook we've got is okay. All right, I'll get
for
those
letting
3
us
for you all right away.
Lovely.
Patters away.
I rather like Brian. I
He
found him
seems like
quite
the
endearing.
character, indeed.
He should have a
Wiswick,
last
you come
name.
down now.
I go up to everyone and I slam. By this time I put my magic flask away and I slam my big tome of spells onto the table and lean on top of it and I say,
So, did you order for me yet?
No.
Yes.
Based on the giant bell that went off, I didn't think you'd be down for a bit.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm sure it's not gonna go off again.
Okay, I figured as much. I would apologize to Miss Paravel over there, just preemptively, and also
I-
emptively for the bell.
Why? It's just a security measure.
I understand. No, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying you kind of disturbed everyone down here, and she was a little bit peeved. And since we're currently living in her place, she shouldn't be peeved at us.
She's
I guess that makes sense, but now I gotta go all the way back up the stairs to unplug it,
No. You don't have to do that.
deactivate it.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to deactivate it. Just say that it won't happen again and that you're sorry.
It's at that point that Paravel kind of swoops around with the tray of drinks. She puts 2 mugs down in front of Timber and Cal, and a small glass in front of Curon. Just looks around and says, "All right, we got some ales for you. Got a water there. Let me know if you want any other drinks. I'll be here all night." And she kind of looks down. She didn't catch Wiswick at first. Like, "Oh, there you are, little fella. Was that you upstairs?"
Yeah, sorry about that. Somebody was just, mocking my magics and I had to show them what for. It won't happen again.
Oh, well, I certainly hope it won't happen again, because I might just have to kick you out if it disrupts my guests too much. But if it doesn't happen, we'll be okay. Would you like a drink?
the sweat drops down.
Yeah, I'll have a drink.
We've got some ale. We've got a little bit of halfling ski, and I don't know. I can look in the back if you want.
Well, you see, I'm quite a traveler, and I would love to have whatever you recommend.
Well,
Any local classics? You think the ski stuff is pretty good around here?
Well, the ski's not made here. It's made down the road, down the Peridot Road over in Umborough, on the way to Meadowin. It's where most of the halflings are from. It's delicious. It's just absolutely great. It's strong. It's definitely strong, but I'd say it's my favorite on a cold night.
Okay, great. I'll have a cup of that.
All right, I'll get
You know
you
what?
one right away.
Miss Paravel, you sold me. I'll try it too. I don't want to
Absolutely.
leave it alone.
2 skis. How about the other 2 of you?
All set, thank you.
Responsible.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Okay. Here we go.
Hey!
And she walks away to go get you
So,
some
shot.
halflings. It's essentially what just happened.
Keleth, I want to not only recognize, but you did a good job out there in the dungeon or the battle.
Well, thank you. I think we all did.
I think we all did. However, you took up the man in the pallid mask yourself. I just want to recognize that. We were
Thanks. I think it's what anyone would have done.
I mean, yes.
Well,
Scarlet
clearly not anyone,
did destroy
because
the
it took
mask, but
us.
you distracted him. Well,
You did quite a number on him. The way you strode forward, very inspiring.
very inspiring.
Well, to be honest, perhaps I was just tired of being down there.
A fair point.
Cal's not. He's not like. This doesn't make him feel proud. You know, like he's not looking like he's like, yeah, thanks guys. He's like, yeah, no, like whatever. Like I'm not. His reaction's very almost not dismissive because he's not like he's like he is thanking them, but it's kind of like, yeah, cool, we did that. Awesome, brush it away. I mean, thanks guys. It's fine. I just I don't think I did anything different than any of us would have. And I hold up my ale and I'm like, cheers.
Cheers.
I think Wiswick says, like into his drink, he goes,
Well, I would have done something different, but cheers.
As Wiswick drinks from his flask.
Yeah, you don't have your drink yet.
yeah, okay, I'll drink from the flask.
No. I'll cheers everyone drink and they'll be like, oh crap, and hand my ale to Wiswick.
Okay.
That works. Kieran, you would notice as you're waiting for your food and ski, while most of the most of the patrons are older looking and a few are, they mostly look like day laborers or just the working women and men of this town. Although you all did notice when coming in that there was not a lot of folk on the streets. You notice in the back corner, sort of in a little alcove by the fire, there's a few armored individuals that are enjoying a few cups of ale. They look clearly like soldiers. They're better armored than the town's guard you're used to from Magin's set. You presume they might be part of the garrison that General Kinsley was traveling with.
Do they have an insignia on them?
You don't see like a shield or anything. Their weapons are stacked against the wall. They're all wearing. They don't have like any heavy armor on. They have what are those like full like padded armor that goes under the mail.
A gambeson?
I was gonna say gambeson, and I should have because I knew
you would have been right. You would have been great.
But I wasn't sure. They're wearing gambesons, which is that padded long coat armor, soft armor that's under the heavier armor. You can see around their necks, it's loosened a little. You see this deep crimson sort of under armor wrapping that's loosened a little bit. The crimson reminds you of one of the shields you saw on the on-duty guards when you got here, which had the 3 lions on it, which is the crest of House Aemon, which is the king's house. It's the only thing that's out of ordinary here, is that there are these soldiers enjoying a drink. There's 2 in gambesons, and there's a third that is also in a gambeson, but he looks a little bit more put together. He has a thin beard. He has a much more serious face, very pale, has very curly hair, kind of like a Laxbro hair, essentially. He's got some lettuce going on.
Right. A lot of flow.
He's got a lot of flow. He's got some, like a hockey player in Canada, but he's got some nice hair. But he's much more serious than them. He's only occasionally drinking. As you see, the 3 soldiers with him are much more jovial and definitely drunk.
And they're talking?
Yes.
Can I read their lips?
Oh, I forgot you have that. I still want you to make a perception check.
Of course.
I think Wiswick is just trying to talk to Kieran about, I don't know, furbolgs and halflings while he's doing this. Just like making idle conversation because he can't shut up.
Okay. Wiswick, you wouldn't know too much about furbolgs or halflings.
Got him.
But you could surmise. I mean, you all know that the
up.
furbolg was said, my name's Periville Bracklin Glen. So I imagine you're talking about that. But 23, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you just occasionally notice a few words here and there between the drunker ones. It seems like they're talking about referencing this as an easy post, and that this is going to be kind of you occasionally catch their insulting the region, kind of like, oh well, isn't going to be a difficult station in Tressex. What are they going to do? What are we going to have to fight? A scarecrow? They're just generally drunkenly begrudging, but also jovially talking about how easy their job's going to be, while this one looks very serious. And you actually catch as you're sort of peeking and looking and reading their lips, he makes very brief eye contact with you and takes a sip. And before breaking
my water.
before breaking eye contact and sort of hitting one of the soldiers and kind of bringing their mood down. It's
Where's
at that
our
point.
waiter?
It's at that point that Kieran, you get brought back to the table as you see a little tray coming around as Brian comes in, and he's like, oh, all right, yeah, all right, roasted veggies, right there, here you go.
Thank you very much.
What it is mostly no, it's a veggie medley. There's some carrots, there's some broccoli, there's an abundance of leeks there, of roasted leeks for some reason.
A lot of leaks.
There's a lot of leeks. They're leek forward.
Excuse me, I'm allergic to leeks.
Oh, what's allergic? No. Oh, allergies. I always hear that's you can get over it. Parabella's there too. She's brought your drinks over too. He brings Brian though brings a half chicken to you, Timber, and it's literally like a roasted chicken that was cut in half and just placed in a plate with fork and knife. It's 100% Boston Market style. Not as brown. It's not as good. But you see a little crisp rosemary sticking out of it. And Cal, you get a nice flaky shepherd's pie. As Brian looks to Wiswick, he's like, I didn't know you were going to be here. What can I get you? You hungry?
Yeah, I'd like something. What do you recommend?
Well, what they got here is pretty good. I mean, Paravel, and he nods up to Paravel, who's putting the ski down in front of each of you. She ain't cooking tonight, but she's the best cook. So, I mean, I'd recommend something simple. We can get you the other half of that chicken.
Yeah, okay. I'll take the other half. Maybe
Okay.
bring out some extra salt if you have it.
Oh, you like your seasoning? All right, yeah, we'll see if we got some extra salt. Might bring the price up with just a hair, but nothing some adventuring folk like you can't handle.
Seems a bit presumptuous.
Well, I'm just mean. Yeah, you got that armor on. Well,
You're probably right, Brian.
Thank you. All right, bye. I'll be back with the tap chicken. Paravel just sort of laughs as she's placing the ski down in front of each of you, and she's like, "Oh, this comes from Umbro. It's distilled by a friend of mine, actually. Yeah, Krint's farm. Yeah." Yeah, Krint Bilger's distillery. He's a great halfling friend of mine. As you can see, I like the halflings, but he distills this in his basement, his cellar. But it should be. It's a little rough around the edges, but you'll get those nice notes of burnt barrel at the end. So enjoy.
Yes, lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
She did say burnt barrel, right?
I think so.
I don't know if that's a note one generally wants in one's.
I don't know.
Wiswick, you as
anyway,
a fan of bourbon would know this.
Yeah, malt whiskey.
No, I mean I've had
Jesus.
whiskey too. Obviously, my people are known for their rum, but we have whiskey. Burnt barrel. I don't know if that's really the goal. Whatever. I smell
Yeah,
it.
I'm more of a single malt kind of guy, but this is pretty good too.
Oh, really?
Anyway, cheers.
Right. The Scots aren't a thing. Never mind.
Cheers.
I want to smell it and then cheers.
So for real world reference, Hobbit ski is like more like bourbon than say a Scotch or a whiskey. So it's got that sweet aftertaste and that legally mandated alcohol content. But as you each drink it, it is very harsh. It's very strong. It's definitely probably should have had a splash of water in it, but they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's hard to taste and it's just painful. But you feel alive after.
Out of bourbons in real world comparison, this is an Old Crow, not a Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah, this is a like a double proof Old Forester without the splash of water.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
So,
Wiswick's loving it.
Cal probably is a little into it, but it's a little too much.
Caliph, this
Yes.
is from my statement before. I have high doubts that you are, in fact, a tailor's apprentice. So what are you?
I didn't want to say anything, but I definitely got that vibe too.
What am I?
No offense to you.
No,
It's just that.
You're right. I should have told you this probably at some point sooner, but it's at this point it's habit, you know. Also, I will tell you, I'd rather you don't just you don't go around spreading the name if you can.
Do you see me spreading the name?
That's fair. That is fair. My face started to get a little bit red from the giant dram of whiskey we just did, and I'm like yeah, that's fair. Okay. So I am, I suppose, the second son of the Baron Stormrain in southeastern Honduras.
I could have sworn it was Storm Drain.
It wasn't. You were doing that thing where you were listening with the bat, right?
No, you actually told me afterwards. You don't remember. Whatever. I'll just keep writing in my
No,
book.
I remember having the conversation. I didn't think whatever. It's fine. No, Storm Rain, Reign, down in the mountains, in the southeastern mountains, that I think have a name that Sean didn't give me. So, so have you ever, any of you? I know Q, you haven't, and I don't think you have Wiswick. Tim, have you ever been to Honduras at any point?
No, not.
Sure.
Not,
So
not for any means.
we're very different than the rest of the Quintaki. We don't really as a person who's traveled around now quite a bit, we Hondurans have a bit of an independent streak. Maybe you were able to tell, but we kept much of our culture from before we joined the Quintaki, and one of those, a major cultural event for us, is called the contest, and the big event of the contest is a duel, a dueling, like a bracket tournament sort of thing, and I took part in that, and I had a lot of training, got relatively far, did not win, and I decided that I was done being a duelist because it took up most of my life, and I set out, and that was maybe 8-9 months before I met you guys.
That is interesting.
So
this.
why lie about it?
So, luckily, we have not been anywhere civilized in a while, but in much of the larger areas, the contest, even outside of Honduras, the contest is followed and known about. Its competitors are I don't know, famous is the wrong word, but in certain circles they would be known. And I made it to the year I competed. I made it to the finals and fought a duel that has been entered into Honduran. I don't know. Legend is strong. Popular memory, cultural memory. And then I lost. And so, perhaps it was a little bit of shame, but it was also a desire to get away from being who I was.
That is,
Take a different name, use a different name, be a different person.
So, in
It's not nefarious, I don't think. It wasn't out of a desire to fool you folks in particular. It's just simpler, maybe.
I understand that. However, you've only recently had your first kill. You've only recently killed someone.
Aye.
Can you attest to that?
I started dueling training for it when I was 11 years old. I spent 8 some odd years doing nothing but that, followed by normal lessons after training for a whole day. So I was trained to be an athlete fundamentally, right? Not a trained killer, even though the skills are fundamentally the same. It was specifically to compete against other highly trained duelists.
So,
I had never fought with non-blunted steel
understood.
before I left.
I will not provoke you anymore, but I know that this is not, or I should say, comfortable. This is not comfortable for you.
No, it isn't. But we've been together long enough. I think it's you all should know that anyway.
No.
If anyone named Stormrain shows up, don't tell them I'm here. Or looking for somebody named Stormrain, not me.
I will for sure not communicate with them. So.
I'll try my hardest.
I mean, you don't have to lie.
Kieran,
Just be like,
Kieran, make sure you do not recommend or say that you know anybody from Stormy. That is for you explicitly. I know how bad you are at lying.
So at that point, you hear another voice say, "I won't tell anyone either." As you see a young halfling girl that looks a lot like Brian and Shane, but with this essentially the same halfling hair, actually the same mutton chops kind of on the side that are graying. As she's just sort of grumpily gives you a face that's kind of scrunched together. She starts taking the dram glasses off of the counter. It's like, "Your secret's safe with me."
And I'm sorry, who are you?
How did you roll stealth that high that my passive perception didn't you see you?
Well, folks don't really see us sometimes as halflings, Not as small as your friend there, but get around.
That's fair.
My name's Toira. I'm Shane and Brian's older sister. Do the cleaning around here. She starts to take more empty glasses off the table.
Can
Well, thank you, Tyra.
can we get another round?
I'm not the waiter.
I don't.
Could you please send Brian over?
Brian! As she retreats into the bag with your empty cups, and Brian scurries over to Paravel to get more drinks for you.
Vizic, where is Scarlet?
Scarlet, what are you doing upstairs?
Brooding.
Any
Yeah.
particular kind of brooding?
I think I would just obsessively do that thing where I unpack and pack my bag, and just kind of sit and look around and not really know what to do. I think at one point I would take off the glove on my left hand, just kind of look at the scar that's there. Nothing's changed since the last time the vision happened, right?
No, the scar remains the same and unchanged. I mean, you feel differently about it as you stare at it. It has always had tremendous meaning, but it has deeper or more nefarious meaning for you now.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking about the trying to rack my brains on who the hell could be operating under Blood Raven. I have suspicions, but I have no way to confirm them.
Okay. So you are contemplating and brooding, repacking your bags, constantly thinking about if you should run or not. Even
All right.
from this newfound family.
Oh, sorry.
No?
That was the other sense.
It was.
Okay.
Just
All
one
right.
word early.
Around the table, what do we think she's doing upstairs? Kieran, you first. I'm changing the subject.
Yeah.
She's doing that thing she always does, you know, where she tries to seem, what's the right common word? Edgy, I believe.
Ah, okay. So we have performance. Wiswick, what do we think?
This is a good question. What does Scarlet do when nobody's watching?
Well, that's,
I'd
that's the
imagine-
point of the... Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I can think.
He's
You
reiterating.
didn't put a time limit on the game,
You're
did
right.
you?
No, you're right. I did. All right.
Just because Kieran's answer was boring doesn't mean mine has to be.
You know what? That's fair. I would say 1 silver talent. What is the currency called? Piece?
You can say a piece. You could say a piece.
1 silver to whoever gets it right, or whoever's closest. And I
Oh,
put
I
the
was
silver in
going
the
for
center of the
funny
table.
points.
I don't think I should contribute since I've been kind of living with Scarlet. I know how she's
It's
acting,
true,
so
you would
I
do
think
it.
I should be out of this one. This should be only a competition between you three.
All right, that's fair. 1 silver to whichever of us gets closest. So we have that thing she does where she tries to look edgy. So some kind of like performative act, right? She's telling us that she's mad or that she's mad at something, and we're not doing anything about it. Wiswick, what do you think?
That thing where she stares at a ring finger, longing. Yeah, maybe I think she wants a boyfriend or something.
Leave it
Huh.
to Wiswick.
You don't think she would like kill anyone that got close?
No, I'm just kidding. She's got some curse thing with with some bad stuff going on with that scar in her finger. You don't want to know about it.
Well, now I do, but yeah, okay.
I think she already told us. She told all you guys, right?
I'm gonna. No, I don't.
Yes, we were all.
Yes, we were there. We were all there.
Yeah.
And that's when we
Yeah.
pledged our bows, axes, and swords to her, like the fellowship.
Yes, I remember that now. Couldn't remember if she actually showed us the thing or not. I think.
Cal, actually, I think you've never seen the ring.
No, I didn't think I
Yeah,
was.
because the only time she told you all about the Crimson Cord, of course.
Yeah, we heard
But
about
the
like,
ring, Cal, you weren't present when she had Wiswick take a look at the ring. You joined that conversation after that.
Yeah. I think she wants to come down and hang out with us, but I think she doesn't know how to. So I think she's just sitting there looking around without anything to do.
Ooh, maybe we should all come up there with food.
I think that's a great idea after a few more drinks, yeah?
I agree.
I don't know how many more I could have, but yeah, let's do it.
I know you
It's-
are late with me.
It's at that you see the tray bouncing up and down as Brian comes scurrying over. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't come sooner. I didn't think you'd be that fast of a drinker. All of you. Here you go." And he just puts the ales out, and he puts some new water out for Kieran, and then he brings it's another ski for Wiswick, because that's the last thing he ordered.
Wiswick takes the little thing and stares at the halfling, and he's like,
I was drinking stuff stronger than this when I was 5.
Oh, that sounds. I don't know much about
explains a
gnomes,
lot
but that sounds
about
dangerous.
development.
I'm sorry.
He kind of looks back at Paravel like. She's like, all right. Any more food? Or are you,
I saw him do the motion and I give him a wink.
This
and I'm like,
chicken is delicious. Thank you.
All right. We'll have your chicken out very soon.
Wait, should we get something for Scarlet if we are going to disturb her?
This
Oh,
Oh,
is-
you'd like to
yes.
put a to-go order in?
I can
Would
we
you like
get
it
a
sent up to her room?
chicken to go?
Chicken to go.
What?
Into her room.
What does she actually eat?
Chicken.
Has anyone seen Scarlet eat? Oh,
She eats chicken. I've seen her eat chicken before.
She's so
She
mysterious.
just orders that because that's what you like.
She fakes
Yes,
it out
yes.
of my memory.
I know.
You see
I'm
Ryan's
sorry.
kind of like,
chicken, chicken, chicken,
Go.
chicken.
have that right out?
Chicken.
Chicken.
And I think I think she would like a what is the hardest alcohol you have?
Oh, the hardest. Well, I'll have to look in the back. It's probably ski, but we might have some other stuff in the back. If Paravel over there is ready to give it up.
Say value value is value is this like hardest to cheapest value.
Oh well. If you're thinking that way, then ski is definitely the
Okay,
hardest.
let's get some
That way, we
ski.
do have some wood alcohol.
Yes, we have some. We squeezed the ski out of the barrel. And it's real woody.
Brian, if you could take a look in the back. If you have a bottle of Utler and rum, I would do something. I'd pay you a lot of money.
Well, I'll go take a look.
Hey, wait,
Thank
Brian, before you leave,
Yes.
just, sorry about the noise earlier. What's your deal with magic in the establishment? Is it, frowned upon, or, as long it's not hurting anybody?
Well, Paravel, she's quite a bit of an enchanter herself. She likes to mix it with tinctures and potions and a bit of enchantments. So she's fairly friendly to magic, but she doesn't like a lot of roughhousing, so to speak.
Since she's a potion maker,
Don't worry about us. I was just curious.
Does she have any water elemental?
Water elemental?
Yes.
Water?
You mean
She
elemental
did mention
water?
that she's a
That one.
Oh, well, I'll ask her. I mean, she's, we don't get a lot of travelers through town, so she's a little bit tight on releasing her reagents, so to speak.
Here. Timber writes him a quick note, and then just says, here you go. Here.
I take the note first and I write the spell stuff that I need on it as well, and I hand it back to him.
Hey. No. Mine is on the top.
His stuff
Ted.
first, but my stuff too.
Okay.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Chicken to go.
Thanks, B. Ryan.
Chicken to go.
Hardest stuff we got.
In another ale.
Okay.
He's gonna screw it up. I see it coming.
Yeah, it's okay.
Shane, I need help.
Q,
Yes.
you sure you don't want to drink?
Yes, I'm quite sure. After the last drink of that Undurian rum, my meditations were clouded and disturbing.
I think that's mostly the point, right?
I wanted to ask you about that. I know quite a bit about Ilyuvanya, and
You do.
who doesn't? Is this she's
Right. You're right. Totally right.
Now that is weird.
Right?
Based on
I
what you
didn't
know.
realize that many south of the mountains.
How could you not? She's quite a figure. And anyway, more importantly, your goal, is it to seek revenge for Ilyuvanya, or is it to... What is your
Sinvosi
goal?
Peaks, by the way.
Sivosa?
Sinvosi Peaks.
Sinvosi Peak.
Since we're talking about mountains, I grew up in the South Spine Mountains. I remember the name.
The South Spine Mountains. Yes, they're just south of the Bleeding Arch.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Timber.
Okay.
Question.
And I just want you to know your goal. Is it to seek revenge for Ilyuvanya by defeating all of those who worship the Pallid Mask?
So, this Pallid King that we've been learning about, I've never heard tales of him before. When Ilyvania fell during the Morsia conflict, it was against
Beoret,
and
the melting dragon. And
The other one. Jim, the freezing dragon.
I have Kieran's backstory up, but not the annals of Ilyvania or Alicia. Anyways, she fell fighting the two
Twin dragon.
the melting dragon
right.
and the dead dragon.
Oh, is that Tifa?
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
So this Pallid King was not in connection. No. Well. So the powers that I use, the magics similar to magics that you now use, and oh wait, actually has Timber cast Hex like in front of people?
Yes, you wouldn't necessarily. I'd say what you would get from that is that he uses some kind of shadow magic. You don't know
well,
what its
Pass Without
origin
a
is.
Trace would have always been a magic, right?
Correct. Pass Without a Trace and Hex. Any spell he's cast has just been something associated with shadow magic.
Right.
You're unsure of its origin.
Okay. So similar to your magic and primarily Wiswick's, I did not obtain mine until I received this. And Kieran takes from his waist the something that he's held above his head and stuff. It's a wooden cylinder with silver runes carved into it. Within here rests a piece of Ilyvania's moon that lay shattered over the Adra Valley. I obtained it one day after meditation, and with it, a type of prophecy, if you will. She warned me that the Elysian elves were in danger by the one with the pallid mask. Since then, I have made it my duty to ensure the threat she foresaw does not come to pass.
Well, that's good then, right? We did it?
Well, as we saw, it appears that it's possible for servants of the mask to resurrect other servants, or not resurrect, but form.
So you don't think that the smoke monster was the actual
only
like
one?
the one with the pallid mask, or was it? You think that was a minion therein?
I would find it hard to believe that, no offense to our prowess, but us, a group of adventurers, to be able to take down a chained god.
I stabbed him a lot.
I don't know if stabbing works on gods.
I'm not even sure
Like,
it was the god.
count me out
I thought
then,
it was
friend.
the Archmage. Remember my theory from before?
The
You
archdruid?
said it very quickly.
Okay, so Archmage is trapped in the ethereal plane for some reason, which
And
may
who's the
be
Archmage?
The archdruid?
no, the mage who was in all those photos on our way down. He was
What's
wearing
a
like a purple
photo?
cloak.
You say it all the time. I don't know what it means.
I
A
told you
photo
it's
is-
a Devlin term.
In Snivleblin, a photo is a picture. Or
Yeah, it's like a mosaic.
You're right,
a
you're right.
mosaic.
I knew that. I knew that. It's the ski.
See.
Go ahead.
Yes. He
It was
he
at
explained
that outburst that Brian kind of got spooked with this wrapped chicken and a chicken for Wiswick. He just sort of puts down. And he's like, "Oh, you're
Thank
talking
you,
about a lot
Brian.
of scary things over here."
Thank you, Brian.
No, Brian. We're talking. It's a game we play. We make up words and we try to figure them out.
We're talking about
No.
dragons and gods.
Yes.
Brian,
How
you
good are your
know
ears,
what
Brian?
before?
You see, he wiggles his ears and he. Bye. I'll get you. I'll go talk to
Oh
Paradice for you.
shit.
Bottle of rum. Unturn. Okay. Thank you. It's gotta
Well,
be
anyway,
Go ahead.
Herfost, by the way, Huron. Herfost the dead drake.
You know, we're 21 episodes in. One would imagine that the cast all had this down. We just don't. Go ahead, Rizvik. Sorry.
So
Sorry.
I thought that perhaps he was a worshiper of the Pallid King that was trapped in the ethereal plane for some reason. It seemed that he was very, very old, since all of the paintings or mosaics had
No, see, I'm on board
been
with photo now.
decayed.
You can't just. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so the dungeon was his lair, and he was trying to use the thin veil between the dimensions that was deep within to create a ritual to bring himself back using that sacrifice that he had on the table. It had some sort of divine properties because it was a race known as the Asamar, and somehow it lost its powers when we had completed defeating him. I'm not sure if that was our fault. Probably Cal's fault for not killing the guy fast enough.
Wiswick, when you rolled for knowledge of the Asamer, you would know, and this is how my world works more so than Asamer generally. Any race can be an Asamer. It's a blessing more so than it is a only humans and there's only an Asamer race. It's a divine blessing.
So,
But
yeah.
you would all remember Wiswick pointing out the mural of Tressic or of Magin set with the spire in the middle right before you all cast a bunch of magic and fought an automaton. But you also would remember the fountain had a strange humanoid statue that was half broken, but I don't think any of the rest of you would have noticed the mural that had the actual depiction of the humanoid.
Assumptions aside, I do find that area to be quite dangerous. I would say that a magical source such as that needs to be protected by the people who live around there, and having it so close to a bandit camp is probably just a recipe for disaster.
Which
I
do you
mean,
think came first, the bandit camp or the
Well,
ethereal?
The
I'd
ethereal
imagine-
juice, probably, right?
The ethereal juice for sure, but I would imagine that the Pallid people probably got the bandits to come there, using their own powers to maybe secure the area for themselves.
That seems to make sense to me as well.
Vizek, that is the most mature thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth.
Also, boy,
Now-
I really need to pay attention when we're down and below ground because I missed all of that.
Now listen to this.
Is
I
this-
got 2 plans coming up. Ready?
Well,
Number
hold
one.
on. Hold on. Don't tell me the plans just yet. I need to get Scarlet. Timber picks up the half chicken in the ale that he ordered and goes upstairs real quick.
Wait, Timber, tell us make sure to remember what she's doing.
Yes, we'll do, Cat.
Don't let her step out of a room.
Of
Wait,
course.
wait.
This is a bet.
No, I gotta
I
go
know.
upstairs. I gotta go
No,
upstairs.
Vizvik, stay down there.
They're gonna set the alarm and kick us out again.
Oh, right.
Jeez.
I cast
Okay,
counter
sit
spell
down.
on my own spell. Can I do that?
I'll allow it.
I quickly run up the stairs and cast counter spell and run back down.
So
It's a cantrip. It'll probably work.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You don't need to roll.
You can just stop it. Also,
you could also just turn
stop
and
it.
Stop.
Yeah, you can just stop.
But I'm gonna say that
That sounds fun.
Wiswick's very drunk, so he goes up there and he
Ha!
casts counterspell on it. Just
Ugh.
1 second, real
No
quick.
power. It works.
And then I run back down because I don't want
Alex
to
said 1
me.
second. So in the
Timber,
meantime, Q, talk to me.
Okay.
Ale is not bad. Do you want to try that?
It's not about, well, it doesn't quite meet my taste. It's the alcohol. I'm not sure if I'm able to properly digest it as you do. Or it's not that I don't properly.
I mean,
it's
we're all
just, it
friends. A little
affects
bit of
me.
gas is fine.
No, it just affects me a little stronger and in different ways, if you will.
Okay.
Sorry. I guess we're doing a lot of lore here too. So in your world, so in like all the Dungeons and Dragons stuff, trance is described as elves going in and like sometimes viewing their past lives and stuff like that. Is reincarnation a thing with elves in your? Is it like a similar?
Yeah, no, so I mean, with the Elysians, there's some stories about that, but it's not a confirmed thing. It's certainly not with other elves. So, like, the Gwyn elves can also do trance, and it's purely a magical meditation.
Okay.
It's much more, I'd say it's much more in line with the like player handbook definition of trance than it is with the lore in the Forgotten Realms. It's not so much that you looking on past lives, it would more so for the Elysians be attempting to commune with ancestral spirits.
Okay. Yeah.
Elysians do drink, but not where you're from, really. More so.
Right. And Kieran definitely would not have grown up with alcohol in the house.
Not really. Only on special days, special
Maybe
celebrations.
Sauvage dogs or whatever the fuck. So you don't. I've seen you. It's not the alcohol. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. I'm not trying to ever tell you what to do. Remember that.
Of course.
Hey, Cal.
Yes, Wiz, you're back. What's going on?
What was the name of the guy who kicked your butt in the competition?
Bram Storen ended up being the victor there, though it was a 7-hour bout, which is why I tend to be. Yeah, it was long. Which is why I tend to be more recognized than, say, the average second place runner-up in the contest.
Scarlet, you hear a knock on the door.
I'll wait for a second and then I'll go over to the door, but I'm not thinking I know where the alarm spell is. I'm going to like open it like this.
You see Timber there, and Timber steps through the alarm, and nothing happens, and you just think, Wiswick.
You didn't do it right.
I brought you some chicken.
Oh, that was kind of you. Thank you.
What are you doing up here? We're all downstairs.
Yeah,
Everything okay?
I just needed to be alone for a little bit.
Well, like I said, here's some chicken. I don't.
What about the ale? He's drinking.
This
This is for me.
This is I brought
As
you
he's
some...
awkwardly trying to tell me food, I'm just come in for a second. I want to ask you something.
Okay. Is everything okay? Oh, also, I got this ale for you.
Thank you.
You probably need it.
Yes, I dare say I do. When he steps in, I'll shut the door. Have you thought about the... We decided that I would know the name of that group, right? The syndicate. Would I know the name of that group?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Have you thought about the syndicate at all?
Yes, I have. Considering that is my one goal. That is all I can think about. I can't. It rolls through my mind almost all of the time.
Mine too.
Why?
Because I think we need to start making some headway on that. It's been months since
know.
I've had a lead. I'm losing patience.
I was hoping we could get some higher up authority for helping this situation. I only think we can if we get an answer from the general.
Yeah. Didn't you talk to him already?
I did not. He doesn't know. We haven't spoken to him since we've come back.
Well, if anybody would have information, it would be him.
I would think so. We have to wait.
I don't
Just-
want to wait. I can't wait anymore. Every day that passes, it's another day that Reese is in trouble.
Do you understand who I have risked for this?
Do you understand the exact same thing? You, of all people, should understand this. Which is why I think we need to go.
You're an assassin. Correct.
Yes. I'm not proud of it.
No, but I know it. Based on your actions. You cannot make rash decisions. You have to take things slowly. You have to acquire information before you go head onto a group. You have to assemble
all I've
a
been
group.
doing. That is all I've been doing. I'm done waiting.
You can't be impatient. That is another one. If you want to be successful, you cannot be impatient. If you want to fail, lose, and die before you rescue your brother. You must take it
I thought
slow.
you would understand the urgency. a
I
little bit
do
more better than
understand
this.
the urgency.
Doesn't seem like it.
Do you understand how much my wife means to me?
As much as my brother means to me.
We're downstairs drinking. You can join us if you want. Timber opens the door and slams it.
Scarlet, you are alone in the room. It's quiet. You hear the bustling downstairs. You just feel the breeze through the window. As you just leave your chicken on the side of your bed. But you haven't had a fight with Timber like that. Timber, you get back downstairs. Group is jovially talking about Cal's failures. As you see, they've ordered or if they'd like, they've ordered another round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wiswick doesn't get one.
So you see
Wiswick,
Wiswick kind of swaying on the chair as Cal is getting the next drink from Brian. There's another drink for you there. Huron is finishing up the last of his water. You come down frustrated as they all look to you expectantly for what Scarlet was doing.
okay, she was brooding. Okay.
Well, that's all of our asses.
Okay.
Nah, I think Huron's was the most vague, so he should probably get the silver.
No.
That's not how this
no,
works.
that's not how this works. I agree
Hey,
with Cal
you know-
here.
Hang on. If he can make his case, I will give him the silver.
All right. More specifically, Kieran, what do you think she was doing?
Yeah, this is a good game.
Well, Wiswick already took the thing about the ring, and I guess if it wasn't that,
Right, he didn't get that.
I don't know. I like to imagine she just sits on the floor and pouts, like arms crossed, like up against something, maybe staring at the door or like an open window and being like, "Should I stay or should I go now?"
Okay.
What are you doing? What was that? Is it a lute?
It's an
That-
old
that-
Elysian a dancing song about staying
As
and
they're
going,
talking-
like
You'll have to
Ilya
teach me,
Vanya's
you'll have to
Oh, are we sharing music now?
Another drink and I'll be sharing music. Yeah, go ahead.
As they're talking about all that, can I like in a huff, like I'm not gonna let Timber win this argument, so I'm just gonna take the mug downstairs, and I want to come up on this conversation that they're having if I can.
Yeah, no, you come up as soon as you see Kieran doing an impression of you.
Oh man. So I think that
Is that supposed to be me?
no, it's
only
supposed
if
to
that's
be.
what you were
I
doing.
kick you right under the table. No, it's supposed to be. It's Paravel back with Brackling Glen. She was looking like that earlier.
Which we haven't actually addressed that yet. Her name is Brackling Glen. Yes,
You know, I thought
the
that
name
was
of
the
the
Cuban-
township is also Brackling.
During
said anything
during the
except for the
conversation, Timber's gonna flick a coin towards Cal. A silver.
Do I see that?
Flick the silver from the center of the table.
Yeah.
Do I see that?
Oh, absolutely. You're coming towards the table.
I stick my tongue out a little and go, and then put it back in my pocket. Miss Scarlet, I would very much like it if you could join us all in a drink. Ryan!
You see, as soon as you say Brian, Paravel goes, Brian! You see him run
You hear
out.
Toyra in the background.
As you see Brian patters out to take your drink order. Actually, no, because Paravel sees that you ask for more drinks, so
Yeah.
comes back with an ale for everyone except for Kieran.
We'll have 3 more skis as well, thank you.
Oh,
I,
Just
looking at Cal, will take one as well.
That's 4 more skis, Brian. Thank you very much.
And a water
Wiswick,
to go with that.
you might be dying. Are you okay?
I can't let Kieran outdrink me.
There it is! Yeah! Let's do
Well,
it!
it's not technically out drinking if you've already got a head start.
Shut up!
5 skis then?
yes.
Looking
That's 5 skis
expectantly
and
at,
another round of ales. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Wiswick's holding the. He does that thing that like people do in parties, where like you hold a full bottle of or a full like glass of beer, but don't actually drink it. You're just there for like the ambiance, and like he's just like trying to
Nursing.
avoid it as much as exactly. He's nursing a beer.
So as
Um,
Brian patters away, Scarlet, you kind of take your seat at the table, noticing that Wiswick is particularly drunk. Cal is also quite drunk. Kieran is sober, but mischievous. This is sort of
Remember when we used to sing.
your first vision of the whole space because you walked up right away. As soon as you got the rooms, you see it's starting to thin out a little bit. Some of the laborers have stumbled out of the bar. You see there's just sort of one table left of sort of these workers where you see there's this dwarven woman who's arm wrestling this like older human man who's struggling really hard to beat this dwarven woman. And then you see in the back corner, you see 3 soldiers who are quite drunk. One of them is actually kind of head down on the table, and just one soldier in the back who is watching your table.
Who is that?
Who's
Is that
that?
the
Back there.
captain one, or is that just
Yeah.
one of the regular soldiers?
The one who looked more put together.
Okay.
The one with the lax bro hair.
Thin beard and the flow.
Lax, bro.
Thin,
Yeah.
thin beard in the flow.
It doesn't matter what he.
I didn't ask you.
Who is?
Who is that?
I believe he's with the local garrison that appeared when Kinsley entered the region. They appear to be off duty. And
I don't like the way
What
he's
I
looking at
gather.
the table.
no, they.
Maybe he knows some Magic Set songs.
I don't believe.
I
he
think you've
would.
had quite enough, Wiswick. I've been here for 2 seconds and I can already tell that.
As soon as you say that, Brian comes back with 4 ales and 5 skis.
Brian. Yeah, thank you.
As he places them all down, there's this dram of very brown, burning, very strong smelling hobbit bourbon, essentially halfling bourbon.
Halfling, good lord.
Oh boy.
Told you to state.
Which Scarlet, you're
Sean's
familiar with.
windows open. Just break open. Spetsnaz.
It's just you guys just see this little red dot on
Yeah.
my forehead.
Shape like the one.
No, the writing, yeah.
So a fresh ale is put in front of you, a fresh ski for each of you. As Scarlet, you kind of look over to Timber. Timber kind of grimaces at you. The rest, and assuming Cal lifts up the ski to engage in a joyous drink.
There are big ships and small ships and ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships. So here's to you and me.
Oh.
Drink some ski.
I should have said that. Oh, that was great.
As Wiswick says that, even Scarlet and Timber, even you chuckle through the sort of fight you just had.
Actually, Kieran is going to, remembering what Cal had said back about enduring rum, adding a drop of water to it. So.
I want to ask you guys.
I'm looking at Kieran. I'm just like, yeah, you got it. Woo!
So Kieran, you spent a good you spent a good 10 seconds like that, and then there's this strange
He's only drinking like half of it, not even.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you've spent a good 10 seconds just and then there's 2 seconds at the end where it's where you get some of the idiosyncrasies of the cask and the the chestnuttiness and
Whiskey snob 101. Oh, what a lovely nose. Is that a floral? That's a floral nose, I think.
it's got hints of coffee and
Yeah,
dark
Very
chocolate
oaky.
with just a little bit of oak, just enough oak to,
I think
to combat the cherry sweetness of the
I was gonna
wine.
say, I think there's some black cherry in there that's very good.
Only Kieran gets these, and it disappears as quickly as it comes.
It's all in his head. There's like a discussion.
Kieran, you just hear all of these things, and you're just like,
My ancestors speak to me.
They're hard drinkers.
Out loud after this happens.
You what? Excuse me?
Nothing.
Kieran, you didn't finish.
Buddy.
There's a wise
Yes.
monk that taught me a great lesson when I was reading back a long time ago. He said these wise words: "Down the hatch."
What you were
gotta
reading?
go down. Down the hatch.
Wiswick, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Down the hatch.
He's about to go down the hatch.
18 plus 0. Wait. Plus 2. 20 unnatural.
Okay, so you watch Wiswick after he says "down the hatch," and then he just goes.
I let out a huge
He
burp.
just sits there for 10 straight seconds like that. And then he releases a big burp.
Belch.
Very much a Smearneblin belch.
I have a question for all of you.
Yes.
Scarlet and I have
We need to do this right now.
I don't care.
In the middle. In the
I
middle.
don't. Shut up, Scarlet. This.
Excuse me.
I don't care.
Cal and probably everyone else on the table just sat straight up like.
There's there's this fear goes down your spine. It's like, I don't want to be drunk anymore.
Kieran's gonna look over his shoulder and see what those guards are up to. Is the one still eyeing the table?
He is, and you give me a perception check while they're
After
Nat
what
20.
you just said to me?
Look.
No.
We need
No, I'm done looking.
your help.
Yeah, right. That's what we already. With what? What's going on?
Scarlet and I have a investigation towards a syndicate called the Highland Syndicate.
Okay.
I don't want to be doing this right now.
I don't care.
Can we at least go upstairs?
Fine,
Kieran,
but we
Guard
are, we,
that you
we, are, we are
notice.
bringing our ales with us.
the soldier that you notice is actually patting his fellow soldiers on the back as one of them is picking the one that's unconscious up, and they start heading towards the door. And you notice kind of simultaneously, Timber continuing to be a little bit belligerent. So that ski seems to be going through him quickly, and you notice that he's coming towards you guys.
Yes, I believe going into rooms might be the best idea to avoid any further intrusions. And Kieran's not finishing the rest of his ski, mind you, gets up and kind of
as soon as you stand up, it's not a very large tavern.
Yeah, that's fair.
He sees you start to stand up, and you all notice the man walk up to you now. You notice he has this is it Gambison?
Yep.
Correct. Thank you. Cal's or Tim's my medieval armor guy. But anyway, he's got the dark Gambison crimson cloak wrapped around his neck, or a crimson scarf underneath. You notice a long sword at his waist, heavy leather boots and breeches, as he drops a hand on Kieran's shoulder.
I would
And
just like to make a reminder that Kieran is 6'7" inches.
You're sitting still. You were in the process.
you're halfway.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and this guy's pretty tall. I mean, he's not as tall as you, but he's pretty tall.
Okay.
Although,
When
funny side note, Kieran looks really short amongst the minis you guys got, even though he's the tallest one. But
I did not realize at the time that you could change their heights.
yeah,
When
everyone
the guy
else did.
puts a hand
Scarlet is
on-
the tallest. Sorry, go ahead, Scarlet.
When he puts the hand on Kieran's shoulder, my hand's just gonna fly to dagger on my hip. I'm not gonna take it out. I'm just holding it.
And Kieran's also going to put his hand against her DM motion.
Whoa! Come on,
You see,
guys.
he puts a hand out, and you kind of notice that the way his expressions are. He's sort of, you can notice him forcing smiles, and then sort of get his face goes serious for a moment as he speaks. As he just has a hand and on Kieran's shoulder, and he holds up the ale he has, and then takes the hand off. Please, at ease. Adventurers, right? The ones from Magicset.
Same.
Might be.
No, we are.
Yes, that's us.
But
How
you
can I
ask.
help
The
you?
heroes. Remember did you hear about the heroes?
No, shut. Shh. What do you ask?
Strange group for General Kinsley to put his trust in.
Hmm.
What? A party can't sit in a nice
Physics!
establishment such as this and have a good time after completing a mission?
I recommend you quiet your friend.
Yes.
Yes.
Wiswick, if you could be,
Please.
can you sketch the captain here for us? We're gonna need a picture of him later. Please.
I use what's called minor illusion to just make an illusion of his face on my face, and it just looks really dumb, like it's a caricature for sure.
How can I help you, Captain?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Horace Linden.
Lieutenant Horace, what?
Linden.
Linden.
I'm
Bill.
in charge of these men here. These men and women protecting this town.
Why are you in this tavern?
I'm in this tavern to ensure that my soldiers are okay. And to keep an eye on what I was told.
Why
was
do
the
you
party
know
that came
about
in.
us?
Excuse me. Sorry, who told you to keep an eye on us?
It's not that I was told to keep an eye on you, as I was told to keep an eye out for you.
Ah, that's
By
much
who?
better statement.
Why are you told to keep an eye on?
By General Kinsley, are all that mad drunk?
They're also very, what's the word I'm looking for? Paranoid?
I'm not.
It,
Lieutenant, excellent. It's excellent to see you. Are you, you arrive on post recently? I'm trying to
Yeah.
Save
clean
face.
myself up or yeah.
And you see, he looks to you, and he has this he sort of. It's that that smile people give each other when they're walking past each other in the hallway, and just it just sort of gives forces that kind of smile at you, kind of forcing that affable "we're in a tavern" look before a serious face. And you must be Cal of Honduras.
Yep. How are you?
Yes, well, Kinsley gave me a dossier on each of you. I
Oh my.
was hoping to see you. Well, I guess I was not expecting to see you so soon. Kinsley is about a day and a half out from here.
Don't have to act so disappointed.
Well, as much as you've done for the Quintaki, you're still a bunch of strangers. And I'm not entirely sure you can be trusted, but
Sure, but
And what did you come over here for? To tell us that you can't
neither
trust?
can you. So shut up.
Are
especially
you
with
more
Friends,
important
friends,
or
friends.
less important?
Friends.
You see, he holds his hands up and he's like, "You're not proving me wrong with your
Friends. No, you happen to catch us.
As I've been told, you're quite aggressive.
I.
Now, the reason I
That-
came over here is because I'm concerned because I did not see Captain Valen with you.
Oh, he is fine, and he is
Upstairs.
asleep in his room.
Don't go up there though.
No, you can. What? No, you can go up there. Good lord.
There is an Isomar with him as well.
Yes, we rescued a captive, and he's healing. He's comatose, more or less.
Please,
is what the
be
physician-
free to go upstairs yourself.
What I came over here to ask you, or to present to you, and I will get this out quick because you all seem like you need to go to bed soon.
Yes. We do.
You all.
Yes, sir.
He keeps his eye on you, Cal. Sort of a very judgmental look. Like you can feel that like I was expecting more out of you from him just based on Kinsley's impression that he gave him. There are a few things that this town could use help in before you move along to Driftmarch. We were not left many men. They took most of the regiment with them to Driftmarch. With, admittedly, several villages. But this town, you saw it as you came in, I'm sure. It is vulnerable. I have a few things that I could use some assistance in. If you wish to help, come to the Lawmaster's Tower some point tomorrow. And we can talk. But I had hoped you would stay a bit longer than one night. I understand that you must meet with Kinsley in Driftmarch, but I believe there's time before you need to catch up with him, so to speak. And if you wish to help us, please. I'm sure we can reward you with what we have, but if you
Lieutenant-
are heroes,
Sorry. Good.
You say we can help you before Kinsley gets here.
No.
before Kinsley gets to Kinsley left here a day and a half ago.
I slam my mug
Or a
on
day
the
ago.
table and I go upstairs.
She doesn't like
Apologies.
time.
Look, Lieutenant, we
Um,
probably got off on the wrong foot. Tomorrow's much better for us. Why don't we could talk about this later, right? We're having a good time here, okay?
He puts a hand on Kieran's shoulder again. I do not think it was wise for me to speak with you tonight.
Kieran
Hopefully-
pats the hand like in a, I'm really sorry, buddy.
Many of the soldiers do not trust you necessarily, from what we have heard.
That is fine.
So, I wanted to give you an opportunity to prove them wrong before you move on to Driftmarch. If you do not wish to, that is your decision. I will be in the Lawmaster's Tower tomorrow in the afternoon. Come by if you wish. But I will not wait for you. He tips his ale to you. Enjoy your drinks.
You
Enjoy your
as
morning.
well.
Have a good night.
And he turns around and walks away. Walks out
What a
the door.
buzzkill.
that did put a bit
Well-
of a sober damper
So-
on the rest of this.
That,
I don't
that
know
is-
if it was his fault.
I don't think so as well.
Looking at the
However-
stairs after Scarlet.
Timber, no, yes, Scarlet was not well behaved either. But Timber, what what is going on with you? What was that?
No, Scarlet is not happy with me.
Is she ever?
Apparently, but you didn't seem like you gave her much to make. Her happy
No,
with you.
I did not. Her and I both have stakes, and we were wondering if you folks would help us with
Yeah,
our.
we don't. Yes, of course, right? Did we already talk about this?
I think we briefly discussed
Very,
Scarlet's
very-
situation.
Very briefly.
Yeah, she was
Scarlet and I
running from
both
the-
have people we have close to us that are taken from by a group of people, and our goal is to find out more information and put an end and hopefully ensure that our loved ones are safe.
Yeah, I put a hand on Timber's shoulder. No, of course, my friend. I don't What I don't. Do you? What are we doing? What's the plan? What do you need help?
So, in my mind, the plan is to acquire more information and get a large group of people to strike against these people. Scarlet wants to rush in there and be rash about the situation. I don't think that's reasonable. I want to get General Kinsley's trust. She wants to just go.
Well, when a loved one is at stake, I can understand her.
My
wants to push
wife is at stake. Her brother
life.
is at
Life?
stake.
His wife. I'm sorry. I didn't know that, Timber. I'm sorry. I can't even. I don't know if I can imagine that, but what that would feel like. But we will help. I mean, this is. I don't know about the rest of you. Wizard, go.
Yeah, I think that there's merit in both of your plans. I believe that the key ingredient is that family is the most important thing, and we need to remember that. We gotta remember that, and knowledge is power too.
You're right, buddy. I like start rubbing his shoulders a little bit. And
It's at that point when he says that exact point, and Cal starts rubbing his shoulder, and
You're right, buddy.
and Timber, you just kind of drop your hands in your face. Huron, you're looking at all of them. You have a light warmth in your cheeks from the half shot you took, but you're just sort of like, okay. And then you hear beneath the table line, "Aye, that's right. I think knowledge is power." As Tora starts to pull the empty glasses off, is, "I hate to be a pooper, but you all got to go to bed. You're cut off." The way you loudly yelled at the
one.
Oh, you're all right.
Yeah, would
Lads.
Brian.
Yeah, you really yelled at the lieutenants there, and we don't want that kind of trouble here, so we got to cut you off.
Tyra,
Please go to bed. Please
Tyra,
go
of
to bed.
Tyra, I have a question. I'm not ordering anymore. I have a question. The lieutenant and his men, they arrived with the column of soldiers and civilians, or were they here before?
Well, they arrived with the regiment. The regiment came here first. Lieutenant Horace stayed here with his soldiers, and the rest moved on to Machinset to escort the villagers out. And then they were here for a little bit. They took some of our folk who wanted to leave to avoid any dangers. Most of us wanted to stay. This is our home. And then they left.
Brian, how do you feel?
No, this is Tyra.
My name is Toira. Brian's my little brother.
Brian,
I know. As she rubs her mutton chops, she's like, I know. Spitting image, but I'm not Brian.
Okay, Toya,
Toira.
could we, Montoya,
What's your question, lad?
how do you feel? Like, do you feel safe? Like, is there problems in the city? Like, the lieutenant was concerned about some stuff, and I just want to know how are things around here? Are you good? Are you happy?
Well, lads, I ain't gonna tell you too much. You're stinking drunk, and don't think you remember what to say anyway. It's no, we're tough folk here in Brackland Glen. You
How
know.
dare you insult my memory? I'm quite intellectual.
All right, lads. I think you should go to bed. She starts to push all of your empty dishes and plates and stuff.
Thank you, Tyra.
We'll settle the bill tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
Timber gives it off look like follow me.
Was messing with her with the name too much?
Yes,
Wiswick,
Visvic. Yes,
I
yes.
think
it
this
does.
is a general statement that you come off as offensive to most people. With
Maybe
this,
they
Kieran
just
gets
don't-
up and starts to head up.
Oh. This is just everyone got too drunk and they're all arguing.
I am.
Kieran's just a little peeved about how they came off to the lieutenant.
I will avail myself of that bath. I think.
Yes. Cal takes a drunk bath.
Kieran
The best kind of bath.
remembers afterwards, and he's like, "Oh, I should probably get clean too," and we'll go in after. Because his braids are probably disgusting.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
When you each get to your room, and Scarlett, this would have happened at some point where, while you were probably after you would before you came down, Shane would have come around with a wash basin that he then would shortly after have come with oven mitts on with a large basin of water that Shane and Brian would have brought it up, or Shane and Toyra probably. They would have poured hot water into each of these basins. And by now they're fairly tepid, but you would have gotten an opportunity to wash up.
Awesome.
I think Wiswick would probably not go back up to the room with Scarlet. As everyone was like slowly leaving, he kind of just stays sitting at the table, and eventually, like as people are gone, he pull out his book and just start writing notes and thinking about magical properties and the like, until like basically somebody told him like you need to go, like they're packing up the chairs or whatever, or maybe if they don't even stop him, he might just fall asleep on the table. Who knows?
I'd say that Paravel would have kind of stayed down there and kept an eye on you, and she would have allowed you to just sort of face down in your tome, Quill off to the side. Definitely let you just kind of fall asleep. You would wake up with a small quilt over your shoulders.
No.
That's great. But as we're going to sleep.
Well, I am in a towering rage in my room, pacing back and forth. Are we just gonna ignore that?
I think I'm naked in the bath.
Yeah, no, Timber would not go in your back in the room. Timber would go into the other room.
Timber, I'd
so-
say by the time you got upstairs, you suddenly remember that you only had an hour as a humanoid, and you feel your
Really?
body start to... As your snout comes out, your bones crunch, and you're just... as you're a hybrid again.
Timber, you know I'm your friend, but that is just, it just looks, it's concerning. It looks concerning.
Do you
It
know
looks
how much it
disturbing.
feels?
I guess that was my point, right?
It is very uncomfortable.
All right, so, wait, what is the order of this? Am I taking my bath or am I out of the bath? Where
No.
am I?
I'd say this happened while you were walking up, so you're taking your bath now.
Okay,
That's
that'll be
right.
quick because it's tepid.
Kieran's already in the room. Kieran's
Yeah.
already in the bath.
I don't know if Cal has a lot of shame. I don't think, like in the medieval era, like there probably wasn't a lot of like.
No.
There's a lot of shared. There probably
No,
were a
no,
lot of,
you
like,
two
shared
would
baths and stuff, right?
understand. You would be fine. You could both get your chance to wash up.
Cool. So that happens, and I'm sitting around in the towel afterwards, like guys in a locker room, because that's really the vibe that we're putting out right now.
It really is.
And I'm like, so I'm sitting there. I'm starting to get that we're coming down, so you're starting to get that headache, you know?
The hangover from that first drink in the beginning.
Yeah, pretty much. So one of us should go talk to her, right? Like, that's not...
I cannot.
I don't think it should be you. Q?
Not right now.
Do you think that's best?
I think... Here's what I think. I think that, Scarlet will never ever come to us to say what she's thinking. She's just gonna come at us angry if we let her. Which isn't gonna be good for her or for us. So if one of us goes and offers the proverbial olive branch, that would, I think, help us more.
Fair.
Right? Am I right?
Kieran.
I think I'm right about that.
I think so as
Kieran.
well.
Gets up and puts on his robe. His hair's not braided right now, so it's just a very long mane of silvery white hair. And then he kind of nods to the two of them and exits the room and goes to Scarlet's.
If that's you, Timber, I don't want to talk to you.
It's not. It's Curon. If you don't want to talk, I understand. I just wanted to check in.
We all done talking about whatever the hell it is we're doing tomorrow? I just throw open the door as I'm saying that.
Well.
Kieran's hair goes.
So, while I'm not sure about the lieutenant and his offer for work, I am more concerned about what you and Timber.
Kieran, we don't have time for this. We don't have time to get sidetracked.
Well, if I may, we've already been sidetracked quite.
I know, and that's why we don't have time to go more. What did Timber tell you? I told him not to do it down there, but I'm sure he did.
Yes, well, he told us that both of you have loved ones that are in danger by this syndicate. Timber said that you wanted to rush in, whereas he would rather reunite with Kinsley, and get more information. Maybe gather a larger party to take on this. I assume it's a crime organization.
I don't know what they are. But the longer we wait, the more that they're in danger. And
It's
we've
true.
already been... We can't wait anymore.
Do you remember back at Magic Set when Wiswick ran off and you were quite upset by it?
Yes.
And I also was quick to set out. I, too, had a goal in mind. The Pallid Mask. And I also wished to rush out. It may have behooved us to wait and do more reconnaissance. However, we didn't. We set out and... Actually, it was good timing. So what I'm saying is, your plan has value. However, Timbers also has value. So, can we meet in the middle? We don't have to do the lieutenant's work. Or, some of us can stay back here and do it, while you and Timber go. I'm just spitballing here. You can come in at any time.
As he's talking, his calming voice is calming me down. I'm not angry anymore. She's actually on the verge of tears now.
Oh, I didn't mean to upset you, of course. Our first priority is helping. I mean, you both have done so much to help me, and you didn't even know I was in need of it.
Kieran, do you know what it's like to lose someone who's close to you?
Of course.
Did it happen twice at the same time?
No,
Because that's what happened to me.
I am truly sorry.
My brother and my father at the same time.
And it was this syndicate that was responsible.
Yes. For years, I have been searching for information, and I have nothing other than a name. And people have been teasing me with information.
Who?
Most recently, the cult.
The one that
Is it-
you used to work for.
Yes. It's a load of shit. I don't think they even know anything.
Well, if I may, the general is a well-connected man, and at this point, he now owes us a favor.
He's already made it very clear he doesn't like. Why would he ever help?
Well, it doesn't have to be you that he's helping. It could be Timber, because he's also involved. Him and Timber seem to have a bit of a rapport built up. All I'm saying is that we do have a minute lead with the general, and it's something that we should probably go forward with. Also, in terms helping out the guard here, we could do with a bit of a public imagery, that outburst in the tavern. We are all strangers in a strange land, and it might help if we show our goodwill to these people. And who knows? Ilyuvania has placed us here. There may be a reason why that lieutenant came to us and offered this avenue of work. The gods work in mysterious ways.
It's just angrily wiping it away. I don't know. I know it's not the best thing to be rash, but it's how I've lived my life, and I don't know anything different.
That's fair. And you are you, and I would not ask you to change who you are, but just reconsider alternatives. Of course, whatever you wish. You have the most pressing issue to tend to, you and Timber. And I said that I would help you, and I mean it.
It's nice to hear it out loud.
Of course. Well, if you're okay,
I'll be fine.
anything else I can do for you?
No. You've done plenty.
Can give you a little guidance. Vigilant blessing. All right, vigilant blessing right now, just in case combat shows up.
You see as you nod to Curon and he nods back, he gestures lightly before leaving a brief blessing for Livania. As you close your door quietly behind you, lean against it, and think about everything that has happened. You each return to your rooms, bathe, get comfortable, start to feel the slow sting of the alcohol in your veins, but also the dull numb of the bruising, barely healed cuts, as you all recall how tired you really are. Scarlet, you begin to calm down and even stoke the fire of the small hearth in your room as you hear another knock.
Go open the door just a little bit.
You see Valen.
Oh.
He is dressed plainly. He doesn't have his cloak on. He has just a green tunic over brown leather breeches and boots. You can see his features in earnest here. You've only really barely seen his face. Looks very old. Um, Deep wrinkles in his slightly off green colored skin. These very deep wrinkles, and sort of, he just looks so much older than you thought you had noticed him before. These his brow, sort of that off green skin turning to rough bark, as you can sort of see the horned bark antlers, branches sticking out, and this sort of a deep gray, navy blue, almost hair cascading down the back of them. Very long ears that are very expressive. So you can see they're actually down now, like a dog almost. Light, very, very, very faint glimmer of amber coming from the pupils of his eyes. Pretty large button nose. Just he looks like a friendlier version of the very first White Walker you see in Game of Thrones, but with the antlers. And he looks much more hunched than he is. Scarlet,
Yes.
I heard a lot of commotion.
Yeah, I lost my temper. It's quite easy to do.
You each seem to have some tempers, except maybe the elf. Is
Yeah.
everything okay?
No, but I guess for now, it's fine.
I noticed the rest of them drinking downstairs, so I thought I would speak with you.
Oh. Of course. And I'll open the door more so he can come in.
Yeah, and he steps in and sort of stands by the fire. He's he's probably a little bit shorter than you, but the antlers give him some height. But I came to show you my appreciation for what you have done for the general, and to assure you that he's a man to be trusted. I know he seems ambitious.
The general.
Yes. I will put in a good word for you. And perhaps we can cure you of your past deeds in the eyes of the crown.
Could you really? Is that possible?
I cannot guarantee. I am just his captain. But I've known him a long time. You see, he did a similar deed for me. The elves of the Wimhat commune, they are harsh with their criminals. We do not get prison time. We lose limbs. And the relationship between Oxlin and Taramran was new. And I won't go into the details of it, but the general saw potential in me for good and for a bright future. And he did similar services for me as he may be able to do for you. And I don't mean to be rude or pry, but You are not, the lot of you, discreet.
No. No, we're not. Well, if it would help convince General that this is a matter of some urgency and some expresses my gratitude, he'll know what this means, and I will pull my shirt to the side, and I will show him
Scandalous.
the two scars that are there.
I have worked with the general a long time. And you notice when you show him that, he averts his eyes and knows. You can tell he knows what it means. I've only spent so long in Oxlin, but I've served the general a long time, and I know what that means.
So you'll understand that it's time sensitive.
Well, I understand that you need more than protection from the crown.
Yeah.
It will take... I believe that I can help the SMA, but I don't know if it is wise to travel until he can speak to us. If I can ask for a day. We will be able to deliver the general more.
I don't like it, but I understand.
I could be dead if it weren't for the lot of you. My corpse floating in the astral sea, right at the bottom of that pit. You are, despite some flaws, good people. Loud, rude, aloof, but good. I see that.
Nobody's called me a good person in a long time.
Well, as I can presume your past from what I know and what you bear, I will say what the general said to me when he spared my life. It is never too late to stop maiming people, to stop robbing people, to stop hurting people. It's never too late to try to do some good in this world.
Would you believe me if I said I thought I was doing good? Good on someone's behalf?
I know more than you think. But my life is different now. And it feels good. It feels good. But I would be lying if I did not say I'd look over my shoulder very frequently. And I do not blame you for doing the same. But maybe we can make it easier. But for now, get some rest. And I hope to speak with you each tomorrow.
Thank you, Captain.
Well.
Thank you, Phelan.
He backs away and exits with a warm smile. And with that, you each find your rest. Scarlet, you stay awake a little longer, but you find your rest nonetheless, for the support you've received amongst such a somewhat frustrating evening. So you hear commotion below, quiet. You hear the crickets from the sounds outside. And before we end tonight's session, there's one last thing. You all get some fine sleep. Scarlet. You start to squirm under the sheets. You feel warm. You awake suddenly, gasping. But this is not a dream. You do not see the woman that you're looking for. There's no Cirrus here. The window is open and the curtains are fluttering in a strong breeze. And you just see standing above you a silhouette of a man. He says nothing.
What does he look like?
Give me a perception check.
Dice rolls.
Dice rolls in dramatic moments.
15.
15. Okay. It's hard to see with the moonlight, the only light in the room, and his figure somewhat silhouetted by this light. His face is wrapped in something up to the bridge of his nose. His hood is down. He is tall. And you could just catch the light piercing through the light brown hair. As he's just staring at you. And you can see he's in full crimson court regalia. Black leather, foiled leather armor. Several blades. His hands are just held at the blades at his waist. What do you do?
Can I slowly reach up and pull the scarf off his face?
As you sit up and get closer, your hand reaching out into the moonlight, he turns away aggressively. You catch just a glimmer of blue eyes as he dashes to the window, and jumps out.
No. Can I rush over to the window?
Mm-hmm. You see no sign of him.
Oh. Nothing.
And with the cold night air blowing across the two scars on your clavicle, and a face you haven't seen in a long time, disappearing into the night. That's where we'll end tonight. To those of you watching this, thank you for joining us tonight. A raucous session with some nice pointed drama at the end, as our brave adventurers finally get some night's rest. Join us again next week, as always, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Advantage in Paradise. We love you all, and thank you for joining us.
Night,
Nice
everybody.
job, friend.
Good night.
Adios. Good night.
Adios. Good night.